6 yards a clip in the run game, which is exactly what they wanted to do coming into this game. But it has not resulted in get going if they want to get back on track.
Xavion Williams, the rookie on the return, will pass.
After that shoulder injury, talked to Matt LaFleur at the half, asked him how his quarterback's feeling. He said, I think he's doing a nice job. He bounced back nicely, but guys just have to go out there and focus. You mentioned Josh Jacobs now downgraded to out. He said it's tough when you got your best players.
For the remainder of this game, number 2 in the NFL in rushing touchdowns. Emmanuel Wilson had a touchdown in that first half. First of this season for his lack of production. Well, he got to Jordan Love on that opening play.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, good thing he did, but look, they've gotten a good amount of pressure on him in the interior and forced him outside the pocket. It's probably
with a back issue over the course of the season, and he has to come out of the game. So now Darian Kennard, who's got us in Philadelphia, he is going to step in on this somewhat patchwork offensive line. You lose Lions in there, and now so is Kennard. On second down, Love delivers and bounds, and it'll be just shy of the line to gain.
So thus far, we've seen a lot of man-to-man defenders inside technique that gives you the outcut. Good execution by the Packers. This is the kind of stuff that really is to keep the drive going.
Wicks in there on third down and 1. Fake it. Love throws it. Got a man and a first down to Watson. First half of the season, he gets the first down.
Yeah, he absolutely is. And with that big size, down the field, in the middle of the Christian Watson, just running away from the DB. Smooth throw by Jordan Love. I've seen a couple of these now.
Love completing just 50% of his throws so far on the year. He's much closer to 70.
Look, we said it, Josh Jacobs, that's a huge loss. He represents 26% of Green Bay's total yards this year.
Maybe this will help. Zach Tom is back onto the field. With your man. Packers, a couple of weeks ago, were sitting in first place in the North. They had one of the best records in the NFL. Top of Green Bay for now. Love off the back foot. Downfield for Matthew Golden. Incomplete. Flag is...
I'm actually surprised they keep playing man-to-man coverage. They beat him on the choice route. They beat him on the third and short. They play man-to-man with these guys all game long. At some point, they're going to make you pay. Penalties.
Golden, who's still seeking his first NFL touchdown. The first time that the Packers spent the offense, he gets a 35-yard penalty there to set up first and goal for Green Bay. Golden had to come off and tumbling ahead, running into Okereke, and a short gain to the 2-yard line.
Here against Green Bay today, they kind of forced him into a third down earlier, which is where we are second down. Interesting to see what we go from with plays here. We continue to...
Love, drop back, wide open man, it's the tight end Josh Wiley. His second game. Signed after the Tucker Kraft injury.
They're trying to figure out, passing off man coverage. And it's legal to pick Chips Holland, which is legal at the line of scrimmage.
Whoa, my gosh. Sure what's happening in the shoes of these kickers, but this swirling wind is playing havoc on the kick. Tucker Kraft's injury and Wiley on his first Green Bay target as his first Green Bay score for the lead.
Not too shabby.
Banks from the 6. And crunching hit by the previously injured Aaron Moses.
Keep your eye on Javon Holland. After the motion, he's got the tight-ended coverage. But here's Christian Watson set up the wide-open receiver in the red zone. And here we go. Packers now 3 red zone trips, 3 touchdowns. This has been their Achilles heel.
The Giants for the first time this half. Picked up a few yards as we check in with Christina Pink.
Well, yeah, let's see what the Giants offense does here to respond. Mike Kafka, loving what he's seen, we're aware of. We just have to be smart in how we call it and how we play it here throughout.
And that last kick by Haversick was way off, I think, both sides of this game, too, today.
It's affecting everything.
Side. And close to the first down. Right at the line to gain.
All between the tackles. They're putting it on this offensive line. This was a gap scheme, but also, look, if you want to make big plays in the run game, he's going to stick his nose in there for the good of the team.
Now Tracy's got to go to the sideline as he was limping a bit. So Terry's going to get Rashawn Gary with an impact play. And look at Jameis Winston pointing.
Actually, Micah Parsons kind of wrecks this thing. He gets upfield, probably forces the running back to tighten up his track.
Of the dice.
I like it.
Touchdown underdog. Terry has done this plenty in his career. Can he get the yard they need? Looking for the push.
Well, we lost him in there. Tell you what, they just kept churning and churning.
See that line to gain on the other side. They made that very apparent during the offseason. Putting out that proposal to ban it. That fell a couple of votes shy. With a decent gain on first down. Picks up 4. Well, Mike Kafka. Interesting
momentum on offense. It's really three out of 4 touchdown drives. So they've got a good thing going. And so I think it's just putting a lot of confidence on the quarterback and on the O-line too. It's like, hey, fellas, 4th and...
Winston slings it out wide, and a tumbling grab by Daniel Bellinger will get him a few yards closer. Ooh, interesting. He can touch the ground. The ground can be a part of the catch as long as you have secured it. Challenge flag. This is going to be a very interesting call. It's one of those borderline calls that could go both ways.
Leading catch. Timeout.
This one I'd probably lean closer to incomplete, but we're going to find out. Kept initially ruled a catch, saying he didn't really have the control as the ground was aiding, so to speak, about 3 yards. Those feel like 3 important yards right now with what the Giants are doing offensively.
Push that they can apply. Now this is still very manageable, but you can guarantee that, especially after the delay.
Went for it on 4th down a few plays ago.
It looks like they're getting man coverage.
It is a run play, and an upended Singletary goes flying through the air.
Play tells me that they're going to go for it on 4th down.
Sure.
So here we are. 4th in is kind of opens up everything. They could certainly run it again, but it's probably a pass.
It is pass. Parsons is coming. Winston avoids, throws, diving to secure 13 yards and a chain-moving grab.
I can't say enough about this offensive line against this progression. And I tell you who's not having a hard time catching them all day. That is Isaiah Hodgins. He's come up with some big pass plays on.
Tracy's back in. And he gets wrapped up after a short gain. Wrap by to provide some interesting moments. It is starting to rain, or has been raining for a while. And now Quay Walker, when nursing that all season long, is now getting a look at his arm. More of attrition that is the NFL. 6.5 to play. The third. Carissa Thompson is a game break. CT.
Thanks, Adam. Bills Bucks. The back yards out. They missed the 2-point conversion and lead this one by 5. Adam.
Column. I hear the Packers at 5 and a head off the field. So Tyron Hopper, who's only played 8 defensive snaps all season, and indeed they will. They'll have Hopper out there. Couple of conversions on this series for Winston and the Giants. 10th play of the drive. Got a man. In the middle of that zone defense, it's grabbed by Jalen Hyatt.
This is where Jameis Winston really thrives. We've run the ball really well today, so that sets up this play action.
You always thought he had a good arm, too, obviously. That's one of his strengths. In the backfield, that opens things up for Tracy to run it. Daniel Bellinger got down and dirty.
You know, they don't have a traditional fullback, so these tight ends have to almost play this fullback position at times. So Bellinger, Tracy, you know, his element is speed. He played slot receiver at Purdue University in college, so he can get to the perimeter.
Right back to him. And he's got the first 1100 scrimmage. Indianapolis native, spent 4 years with the Hawkeyes in Iowa, and then the final 2 years of his collegiate career with the Boilermakers. His last year. Banged up with a shoulder issue this year. Remember, no Cam Scattaboo. As he... Yard line goes this Giants offense.
I'll tell you what, there is nothing sexy about it, but it is just 3 and 4 yards ahead of the chains into third manageable situations, allowing them to possess the ball, keep this Green Bay offense.
65% run. League average is closer to 45%, so this is a heavy dose of the run game. Nice play by Nixon. If he can bring down Singletary, which he does. With Devin Singletary.
Yeah, Singletary kept churning, though. Devin Singletary just keeps churning. I mean, this could have been a tackle for a 2 or 3 yard loss, but instead it ends up being a 2 yard.
Packers bring a blitz. It's a screen against it for Singletary. And for a second straight play. About 2 yards maybe shy of the line to gain. Yeah. 2.5.
Typically, league in regards to pressures. But they pressured Nixon on the last play, and then that was a full blitz look where Jameis had, as they have for the other 4th downs in this drive they're going for.
They converted twice on this. Moving, and down he goes! Packers get the stop, and it's Micah Parsons to...
Look, this offensive...
McDuffie and Parsons team up for the drive-killing stop with the...
For what you need. But watch where Jameis's eyes are. They're right here. He's reading the back, out of the backfield. And then cross. Unfortunately, I think that was a missed opportunity.
So Green Bay takes over after a 16-play here. But Parsons got to Winston. McDuffie helped finish it off. And Mike Kafka's roll
for nothing, though. I know they didn't get any points, but to take off that amount of time, to rest your defense.
It's like with the wind the way it is. I imagine that's on the lines of both LaFleur and Kafka as this game progresses.
I think this is a big moment here. 3rd and short. Giants could come up with a stop here. This would be a huge play in this game.
6 for 8 is Green Bay on 3rd down. Shane Bowen's defense. Giants bring 4. Love takes a shot. Got leverage outside from Nick Jones.
That's what they'll teach you. 3rd and short, we're going to contest every great throw by Jordan Love. Really a play that you'd like to see Christian Watson come down with. A lot of times he does. With the Giants.
2 defensive snaps all year. He stays out there for special teams now. Had the coverage on the Homer with the wind. And this is going to head out of bounds and push the Giants back to the 15 whipping wind that just knocked mine and Drew's spotting charts off path here in the booth at MetLife. Huge doubleheader on the college hoop side of things. Top 5 showdown as Arizona will battle UConn. Adam Amin, future Hall of Famer Drew Brees, our great fox, the wonderful women and men of our crew here in Jersey. Jameis Winston finds Wan'Dale Robinson. That was
after you go on that long drive, you don't get any points. You know, you want your defense to come out, man, inspired. Get us the ball back, guys, because, man, we're possessing behind them. Should set us up nicely.